The Assyrian Empire, of which Nineveh was the capital city, whenever it was rumored that the Assyrians would be attacking somebody, they were so brutal in the way they would handle the captives. They would torture them and just be so destructive that occasionally, when it was rumored that the Assyrians were going to be attacking, sometimes a whole town of people would just commit mass suicide because they would rather die that way than to experience what was coming. That's how feared the Assyrian Empire was, and they were hated. Let me tell you a little bit about it. You can read this in history books. This is what they would do. They would go in, and they'd take over a city. They'd kill all sorts of people. Then the surviving women, they would rape before they would kill them. They would often even rape the little girls. They would torture some of the kids, and then they would take the husbands who were prisoners of war, the men, they'd take them outside the city, and they would skin them alive. Then once they were skinned, they would actually bury them in the desert sand up to their necks. You can imagine the pain they would be in. Then they would take their tongues, and they would pull their tongues out, and they would drive a stake through their tongues so that they would go crazy as they were dying of thirst in the middle of the desert. Then once they were dead, they would behead them, and they would take the heads of all the prisoners of war, and they would make a pyramid of heads outside the city to say to the rest of the world, this was a city that we conquered.